Okay, good morning everyone. Shalom Aleichem. Baruchim Habayim. Welcome. We're continuing with Berura daf Hashavua. We're learning Siman Kufiyah Tes. We are up to Sif Katan Hey. I want to see again Sif Katan Dalad. The Mishnah says Toiv lehisvadois b'shoymei tefillah. This is going on. The Mechaber says b'shoymei tefillah yachal lishal kol tzrachav shehi koilelas kol habakashos. Shema tefillah incorporates all bakashos. Mishnah says Toiv lehisvadois b'shoymei tefillah. It's a good thing to confess during Shema tefillah. The Mishnah is bringing this from the Magen Avram, and many Achronim bring this, not like the Taz and Sif Katan Kuf Chaf Beis Sif Katan Beis, where the Taz says that even though you're allowed to add to every bracha, me'ena bracha and bracha shemet tefillah, anything you want, that's only what you need temporarily, but not to be moisif on takanas chachamim in a set way. And then here also the Dirsha brings down, even according to the Mishnah Berura, that says you could be moisif. Rav Shlomo Zalman says that for a choila, like we said yesterday, you cannot daven b'kviyos in every tefillah, because then it becomes like a neder, and then it's no longer tachnunim. But you should stop for a while. Okay, interesting. 1 second. So anyway, the Mishnah Berura says you should be misvad and shemei tefillah, and v'yomer chatasi avisi pashati, and v'lishal al mazoinosav. You should ask for your Parnassa afilu imhu asher, even if you're wealthy. V'im yeshloi avayin mechudash. If you have a new sin maskir b'ferish tefillah kademas etzloi, you mention the first available tefillah. V'yomer tefillah b'hachna v'al kapanim b'kol boichem. You should say with humility, or at least with a weeping voice. V'kabel alav shloi lasos oid kazamidaitoi. You should accept upon yourself not to do this again. V'imlav, otherwise oz mekachigim alav chas v'sham mamala. They're mekachig on you from above. V'ayim b'mach kasanam sim kuf chafes v'katan ches b'shem hachaye adam, who says, like we saw yesterday, that everyone should daven for his tzrachim, his Parnassa, shloi tamash hataram mipivu v'zaroi v'zarazaroi, and so forth. The Chida brings out, what does this come from that in Shemei Tefillah you should say vidoi and you should ask for your Parnassa? The Chida in the Gemara Be'etzah brings that in Shema Koleinu you should be misvada darch kitzara v'yachin atzmai liyos chassid lasos nachas ruach liyotzrei. Where does this come from? The Zohar HaKadosh, Parshas Balak. The Chida brings in the Berkei Yosef that some Chasidim Anshe Maisa, they composed a whole long nusach. No, it's too long. It's not correct to say it. You could only be misvada b'kitzer. So in the Gemara Be'etzba, the Chida composed a nusach to say, even on a day that there's no tachnon, he says, you should say, Yirasam Afanecha Hashem Elokeinu Malkei Avosinu, Shetizakenu Laslik B'Torah L'Shma, Uv'mitzvos U'gnos Chasadim V'yu Komatzin L'Shem Shamayim, V'Sizakenu L'Hashem Tikun Naran B'Golgoza, U'Sefar Nasinu Parnassa Toiva, B'Heter V'Nachas U'Berevach. Now, I don't see how this is a vidoi. How is this a vidoi? And you should be mechaven to be a chassid. The Arizal says in his Shulchan Aruch, "Kishayomer shoymei tefillah chayv adam lishol mazoinosav me'Hashem lahoreshu boiteach boy asher biyadoi mazon kol ha'olam." That was the tefillah of Rabbi Yiba Saba b'chol yom. Siman Gimel, and now the Chida mentions this again. So it's interesting, when he actually composed the tefillah, there's no mention of vidoi. Oh. Then he says like this. Later on in the Seif it says, B'Shema Koleinu b'chol tfilos chol yisvadeh v'ko yoymar. Here, you ready for the short vidoy? Moedim anachnu v'necha b'boishes panim b'charpa uchlima shechatanu avinu b'shan v'necha v'avarna mitzvahs d'iraisa d'rabanan v'harabe necha asinu v'ayonu meschartim charot ha'gemara v'nachnu sham b'tshuva yirasmu v'necha sham v'genu seinu shetazakenu l'ashe b'tshuva shlema timcha v'sisal s'chaber l'chal chatoi seinu v'sim shenu smal l'chal shemois da-da-da. It's actually quite a long nusach. So this is the shortened version of the vidoy that it's a good idea to say. The Mishnah Berura's version is a bit shorter. The Mishnah Berura's version is Chatasi avisi pashati. That's a little bit shorter. I guess in Mishnah Berura he's only counting begilgal zeh. Once you start counting begilgal acher, it gets a little bit longer. Okay, but there is a Kabbalistic addition for A, vidoy, and B, she'elas tzrachav dafka in Shema Koleinu. I guess you could speculate, what does vidoy have to do with Shema Koleinu? What does the bakashas Parnassa, you could also ask, why is that in Shema Koleinu? We already said it in Baruch Aleinu. It seems like it's a display of bitachon. Okay. Then the Mechaber brings down, let's see again, when you add to a bracha similar to the subject of that bracha, if you're doing it for all of Kal Yisrael, you say b'lashon rabim, not b'lashon yachid, you add towards the end of the bracha, not the smack in the middle. If you're actually requesting your needs, if you're just adding, you should add toward the end. If your mamish have a particular need, you could do it even in the middle. And if it's a particular need, when you're adding in the middle for a particular need, it has to be b'lashon yachid, not b'lashon rabim, u'beberchas shemei tefillah. Oh, sorry, kama. U'beberchas shemei tefillah, v'chein b'soif tefillah, in shemei tefillah, or at the end of the davening, bein koydem yil ratzain, bein achrav, whether before yil ratzain or after, yachal lishal, you could ask for whatever you need. Bein v'lshon yachid, bein v'lshon rabim, whether in a lashon yachid or a lashon rabim, whether it's something you mamish need or it's just a tzarchei rabim. There's much more flexibility in shemei tefillah. So again, in a regular bracha, you need to ask toward the end and b'lashon rabim. Unless it's a particular need, then you could ask in the middle, and you can even do a b'lashon yachid. However, in shemei tefillah or b'soif tefillah, you could do it even b'lashon yachid, and it could be even whether it's tzrachav mamish or tzarchei rabim. Let's see the Mishnah Berura. B'shvil kol Yisrael, sivkatan hey, v'uadin b'shvil rabim, or for a tzibor, v'loi b'lashon yachid, kiven shu omer b'shvil rabim. If you're saying it for the rabim, then you say it b'lashon yachid. B'soif habracha, ayin b'pri magadim, siman kuf chaf beis, b'mishvat zav, shematzadei, loimar, dedavka koidem sha'amar baruch atah Hashem. When we say that for the Rabbim, you could add, that's only before Baruch Atah Hashem. Achar came near the Asar, but not after. V'ayin sham de inoi bar loy davar. Look over there, he's not clear. The Mishnah Berura seems to be clear. It has to be before Baruch Atah Hashem. V'loy be'emtza. Bakashas Rabbim should not be in the middle. When you ask for the needs of the tzibur, middle of a bracha, nira kemoisif al matpeh shetikna chachamim. It looks like you're adding to the format that the chachamim legislated. That's only when you're davening as an individual. Avol betzibur matarim. A tzibur to daven for the tzibur could add even in the middle. Therefore we say slichos in middle of slach lanu. Originally slichos was composed to say in the bracha of slach lanu. That's why it's called slichos. Or in the middle of the middle bracha on Yom Kippur, we're allowed to add even b'lashon rabim, even letzarchei rabim, because the rabim is saying it. V'loi b'lashon rabim, Da'af shehi tirua lishal afilu be'emtza habracha. This is going on that if you have a particular need, you could ask in the middle of the bracha, but only b'lashon rachid, not b'lashon rabim. Da'af shehi tirua lishal afilu be'emtza habracha, even though they allowed you to ask even in the middle of the bracha, kivan shetzarach lo lefisha, since you need it as a temporary measure, im yarenu gamkin b'lashon rabim, if you say it b'lashon rabim, nira k'moisav al matpeh shetacham, it will look like you're adding to the format of the bracha. V'ayin b'siman taksu sivdalid t'toiv lizar l'charchila b'cholzeh k'divrei harav Rabbeinu Yoina. Look in Siman Tavkov Samach Vav Sivdalid that it's good to be careful l'charchila, like the words of Rabbeinu Yoina, Shemea Tefillah, that in Shemea Tefillah, or at the end of davening, you could ask Bein B'Lashon Yachid, Bein B'Lashon Rabim. Shemea Tefillah Ubach Kasav Del Arav Rabbeinu Yoina Shemea Tefillah Dom L'Shar Brachas L'Inyan Zed Dem Emsa Also Lishal B'Lashon Rabim. The Bach says that Rabbeinu Yoina would hold that in Shemea Tefillah it's like any other bracha. In the middle you can only add B'Lashon Yachid. The way the Mechaber says it though is that it would be permitted to say Be'emsa B'Lashon Rabim. Kaidim Yilratzon Ein L'Kamam Siman Kuf Chapez Meshabrosiv Katan Zayin Masha Nichtayv Sham. That even though at the end of davening before Yilratzon, the first Yilratzon, it's not more chamer than Shemea Tefillah, and you could be Moisav Tachnunim and to be Marech. But it is l'charchila, it's better to say Yu l'ratzayin before any tachnunim. Sif Beis, Yesh mi sha'omer shekshamoisav bebracha l'tzarech yachid lo yarech. Some say that when you add to a bracha for a yachid, you should not be marech. Says the Mishnah Berura bracha, afilu bebercha shemea tefillah, v'chol shekein b'shar brachos. Even when you're davening for a yachid, you should not be marech in shemea tefillah. So if you're davening for a personal need in Shemea Tefillah, make it snappy. Don't be marach. Aval achar Tefillah. But after the Shemona Esra, afilu koydem ila ratzayin, muter laharach b'chol gavnei, then you can be marach. Uvilikutim maril isa, kishachala maharil. When the maril became ill, gozu at tzibur tainus, the tzibur decreed a fast. Va'amru slichos u'minhagam haya azlemer slichos v'emtzer berachas slach lanu. Their minhag was to say slichos in the middle of slach lanu. Mashma de tzibur l'tzoyrech yachid shari afilu be'emtza bracha. It's mashma tzibur, even for a yachid, it's permitted even in middle of a bracha. We saw that in middle of a bracha, if you're davening for a rabbim, you could add at the end of the bracha. If you're shayl tzrachav mamish kagan sheish lechayla, you could daven in middle of a bracha, as long as you're davening b'lashon yachid. And it sounds like you're not supposed to be marich, and yet when the maril became sick, they said a whole slichos. Yesh loimer shani maril. The maril is different. The rabbim tzrichim l'tayrasai. Many people needed his Torah ukarabim dami, and he has a status of a rabbim, like the Gemara says in Tainus l'gabe Moshe Rabbeinu, that the Gemara says. Parnassa b'shvil yachid, matar b'shvil rabim. The Gemara says Moshe Rabbeinu, kivan de rabim tzrichim like karabim dami. Okay, we're up to Sif Gimel. We'll pick it up in Sif Gimel Bez Hashem tomorrow. Have a good day, everyone. Shkayach.